Um, Hello everyone, I'm Sai. I'm a developer evangelist at Hashnode. Just a second. So today I'm going to be talking about using community as a growth lever. So at Hashnode, we are hard at work on building a community for software developers and helping them get better. And over this endeavor, we have learned a couple of lessons that I want to share with you today. Um, so the thing is, we have to building a community is key to growth. And today I'm going to be talking about how you can leverage community how you can leverage community to build a great user base. The first thing that I have to cover today is the importance of building a community. So the thing is, I'm sorry. So with a great community, we can. I'm really sorry. This is a little nervous here. For building a great community, you can commodify products, but you cannot commodify relationships. So that's why you need to. I'm really sorry. I'm a little nervous. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
We're all developers here, and we all love developers. Just go for it.
All right, that's encouraging. So okay, press start. So yeah, at Hashnode, we are hard at work at building a community. So we have learned a couple of lessons on what we could do to leverage community and grow our user base, how we can use community as a growth hacking tool. So the thing is, Janikaram has talked a lot on how the present day products are doing great stuff. They are really great products. But one thing that has to be focused on is building relationships with your customer base. And why? Because relationships are the key differentiator that would differentiate you from your competitors. For one key reason, that you can commodify products, but you cannot commodify relationships. And using relationship as a key differentiator, the one thing that you have to remember is that the social capital is the key. So this is your general Wikipedia definition. Ignore the part except for the one that's bold. What's social capital? Economic and cultural capital, where transactions are marked by reciprocity, trust, and cooperation. So I'd like to share a personal incident that happened with me. So one of my friends who is studying at Brigham Young University came over to meet me not 2-3 months ago. And he was, you know how cherry buddy friends are, and he was like, no, I'll give you the treat, you'll give the treat. But I ended up giving the treat, and at the end of the day, being aware of my declining bank balance, I ended up paying for the treat and everything. At the end of the day, at the end of everything, he ended up saying one key thing that stuck with me, and that is, bro, you've got a lot of great social capital going on. I've let it off as I've attributed it to his MBA prowess show off. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, social capital is the key for building great communities. And we'll look ahead on how other communities are leveraging social capital, and we'll see through examples. So Bill Lee, one of the customer management gurus, has laid out 4 levels to social capital, and he has differentiated 4 companies into 4 levels based on how they approach social capital. At level 1, you have product companies where buyers perceive you as the supplier of a commodity. So examples include your kirana stores. You have a lot of, there's a lot of sensitivity to price, where you have a lot of bargaining going on, but there's not a lot of emotional attachment per se. That's your least level 1 companies. And at level 2, you have companies where buyers perceive you to help them to get a job done. I was fortunate enough to live in the age of modems, dial-up modems. The process involved, you get a CD and then you had to set up everything. But these days, when you want to set up an internet connection, you call up a technician, he comes over, and he sets up the router for you. He checks out the connection in all corners of the house, and that's level 2 for you. Even here, there's not a lot of emotional attachment involved. Moving ahead, we have level 3. In level 3 is where customer engagement happens, where you have emotional attachment. Let's take Airtel. Airtel is not a good example. Okay, let's take Fasos. Fasos is a food company where they have this elite program, wherein if you end up being an elite program, you have fancy features like where you can pay later, where you can invited to a select set of parties in the city. That's awesome. Up until here, it's not that hard. Like, you can get to a level 3 company, you can get to a level 3 product company by following a checklist of rules. I'm not saying it's easy per se, but you need to be a level 3 company to be taken seriously. The one that's really hard is to get to level 4. Level 4 is where all the magic happens. Level 4 is where you're helping customers build their social capital. I'm really sorry, I had a long night and I was nervous, so I messed up the initial part of the introduction, and I'm all happy now, I'm all comfortable. I'll go back to the slide and I'll introduce social capital again. So social capital is your economic and cultural capital, where transactions are marked by reciprocity, trust, and cooperation. Let's go ahead. And level 4, you help your customers in increasing their social capital. What exactly does it mean? You're helping them to build and expand valuable support groups and communities, which in turn increase the social capital of the company. We'll see on how a couple of companies are doing this and increasing the social capital, their social capital and social capital of their customers. And this 4th level is the differentiator. A couple of examples. So Auth0 is a platform which offers authentication as a service. So the way they increase their social capital is by giving out great developer content. They invest in this guest author program, wherein they pay industry experts, they pay subject experts to write great articles that are, even the developers, the Auth0 developers write the content, and then they invite industry experts to write thorough technical content, and they help developers get their stuff done, increasing the social capital. And one more example, the company that does it is Buffer. Buffer writes great stuff on its blog. It shares its insight on social marketing and on how you should approach social media. The way when a social marketer comes over, reads a great piece on Buffer, it's like, yeah, that's a great insight. I want to go ahead and check out what Buffer is actually about. And when they see Buffer and they offer social media automation, then they're like, yeah, I need to check it out. It's solving my purpose. It has helped me out, and I'll check it out. That's way above increasing the social capital. And one more, a slightly different approach, how Algolia does it, is it has it maintains a community. Yes, they have a Stack Overflow forum wherein they have great questions, wherein they solve users' problems, but then they solve, they have this wide library of products wherein they offer search assistance to whoever want to integrate search into their product. And they say that they have the great UI widgets, they have autocomplete for your search fields and stuff. And then they add in, you can easily integrate the Algolia backend search engine into these products. And then they're like, oh, the code is great, and I'm having a great time in using this product. Algolia must be great too, so I'll go and check it out. And in fact, we use Algolia at Hashnode, and it's really great. And talking about Hashnode is, as Mohan has said, it's a community of software developers. It's a community for software developers, and where we help them get better. So the way we approach community engagement is we are pretty gung-ho on making a channel that's as frictionless as possible for the developers to use, where developers can engage in discussions, opinionated discussions, subjective discussions, with no restrictions as such. And we have given the entire power to the community on deciding what content is featured and what should be raised on the top and everything. Based on what we have done, we've observed a great growth. Like as Mohan has said, we're observing about 60,000 monthly active users right now on the platform. I need to correct you there. It's actually 100,000 now, and things are looking good. And one more way we do this, we approach community engagement and community betterment is by having AMAs with developer influencers and developer teams. We had one with the Facebook React team, with the Webpack team, with the Algolia team itself, and it's going on great. So the way, by focusing on the community, by focusing on increasing our social capital, we have observed that a lot of developer influencers are approaching us, and a lot of anybody who has to build products that help developers out are approaching us, and they want it to be featured on Hashnode. In fact, the Mobix community, the creator of Mobix, Michel Vestrade, is pretty active on Hashnode, and the Mobix community is the de facto official community on Hashnode. And one of the reasons, MERN is one of our open source products, and one of the major reasons of MERN's success was that we had a great community of developers where we could push the software to. And if we build out something, we have a wide array, a wide available set of users wherein we could say, hey, we have built this, check this out. And the community gives us the feedback. And as I've said earlier, anybody who is building something for developers, then they are targeting Hashnode. And forgive the cliche, but last not the least, not by far, DigitalOcean is doing great stuff. And as I've said, it has a great community wherein it has resources and tutorials that help developers get their stuff done. And when somebody helps me, I would want to return the favor back. And if you're a developer, you must be aware of Hacktoberfest, wherein DigitalOcean is giving away cool swag to developers who contribute to open source products, and which is a great initiative in itself. So Hashnode, there's a lot of love for DigitalOcean at Hashnode. We use it as internal analytic tools on the MERN for the MERN website. We use it for real-time Socket.io servers and other messaging systems. So I've asked the developers at Hashnode to compile a list of pros of, and this is what they've come up with, that lots of tutorial resources is me. And as one of my friends, Shomu, who wants to imitate this guy, pray to God he doesn't become the president, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And even though investing in building communities around products even when there is no visible social change, major social change, might be a daunting task. In the end, it pays off. From what we've seen, from the 4 levels of companies that Bill Lee has differentiated over, being at the 4th level will definitely help you out. And it is an efficient way of marketing your product. Having a community around your product is an efficient way of marketing it to a considerably large pool of potential customers. Thank you. And these are the references you can check out at the end. Do visit Hashnode. Thank you. Thanks a lot.